Welcome everybody to Solaris VII, episode 12. My name is Samalander and I'll be your GM. I have some players.
Good evening, my name is Zuriel. I'll be playing Arnstein Elden, the Space Viking mechanic.
I'm Hedgemon Lur, and I'll be playing Caleb Archer, someone who's not too worried about walking off with things that you own.
And I have Easeworm playing Marina Alpha, who is slightly unsure about the situation.
All right. So when we last left off, you guys were all counting chickens in a bar. Where do you want to go next?
What time of day was it? I forget.
Afternoonish.
Yeah, it's afternoon, evening-ish.
So here's what we're thinking for the next several days.
Okay.
We're going to be doing surveillance mostly and prep.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to walk through that, but mostly we're just going to be trying to get patterns down, planning, and I think Caleb would say to everyone around the table that let's keep this in this group until we get closer. We don't know that we've actually found all of the leaks yet.
Okay. Where do you want surveillance and who do you want doing it? And is this over the next, you said several days? How long of a time frame?
It's at least as long of a time frame as Arnstein needs to make a jamming device.
Or if we can procure one. Procure.
Okay, so buying a EM jammer is relatively easy. They get expensive if you want actual military grade as opposed to... So there's this kind of interesting thing where it gets really expensive and then actual military grade gets cheap for used ones and then gets progressively more expensive. Okay. Buying one is definitely within the opportunity. Like, making one or making one work would also be a possibility. Do you want to go buy a military grade jammer, and how, like, do you want it to be hand portable, military, or like vehicle mounted?
Look, we're gonna need one that will like take out at least the area of like a building. Like a building that can host maybe 5 mechs.
Think more like a block.
Yeah.
A couple block radius.
So you guys remember seeing one of those that was about that sized recently in the back end of a pickup.
That got stomped on by a wasp.
So, for if it's self-powered, so it has its own ICE engine, to power it. You're not depending on vehicle power. To cover a block, or well, probably several block radius, because I don't think you want to pull it next to the... Okay, I correct myself. If you want to pull it next to the building, it's a whole lot smaller. If you don't want to pull it right next to the building, then we're talking load into the back of a pickup size because it needs its own generator or needs to be integrated into like a APC to pull power off of the...
That would be expensive.
Internal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's probably anything in the book.
Stars without numbers? I doubt it.
Yeah, it's definitely getting in a little more military gear that they want. They wave away a little bit more. Let's do.
If anywhere, it would maybe be in the BattleTech book.
I could.
if there's one.
I'm sure there is. Just gonna get a. Tools and mechanicals. I'm gonna say probably on the order of a decent one that you're relatively sure will be reliable, that has its own engine, that you could load in the back of pickup or van or something like that. You're looking at in the 1,000 C-bill range to purchase one off the shelf. You could probably kit bash something together for half of that, and I would need some rolls to see how reliable it is. So and the 1,000 C-bill one, if somebody's in a mech and broadcasting from mech grade communication equipment, will probably punch through it, but like would cover like handheld CB radio, cell phones.
Yeah, I think that's what we're looking for.
Okay. So yeah, that sort of thing would be, you could put it into the back of a pickup, roll, like if you had a bed tarp, could just roll it over it, would be relatively inconspicuous. But running it, you would have to basically fire up the generator and then turn it on. So it wouldn't be silent.
Right.
And
I mean, the road around the warehouse was not like vacant, right? There were some cars next to the road and stuff like that, I assume.
It was in a rundown area, but there were, vehicles passing and stuff like that. Yes. Yeah, so I think that's on the order of 1,000 C-bills.
Well, I can't imagine Arnstein wouldn't at least try to put it together himself first, and then if it's getting on the deadline, maybe we calm something up. Or,
Yep.
And I'm assuming over the few days we can heal up to full.
Yeah.
So about the surveillance bit, things that we would be watching for. Basically, I'm thinking that it's mostly going to be our team taking shifts, watching the building, and also the tunnels. One of the things Caleb wants to know is, do they have mechs walking through the tunnels? So setting up recorders, or basically our own camera system, or audio recorders just to hear mechs moving down in the tunnels would be one thing that we would do.
If you have a system, so broadcast would be difficult because it's underground.
Just recording.
Right?
Yeah, if you just would record it and get down there every day and take the recordings out, put a new disc in or something like that. System like that set for IR or audio would be in the 100 C-bill range. Yeah, I would say 100 C-bills will get you something for that does 24 hours of surveillance and an extra drive that you could, use to swap.
Sold.
Okay. So that would get that.
Another question: what about are there apartments around the rundown area?
Not official apartments. If there's people living there, they're probably in illegal lofts, because it's all factory warehouse style buildings.
Is the rundown place where the mechs are the highest point?
No, it's relatively flat land all through there.
Okay.
It's a three, if conventional house stories, it'd be about a 3-story building, 2.5, 3 stories. Most of the buildings in that area are similarly sized.
I will probably be taking a different rooftop every day around it and to spot out any like patterns I see from people walking in and out with the scope of my sniper.
All
It's
right.
not fully built, just only the scope part, if that's separate, or maybe like the base of the gun with it, without the
Um,
barrel.
so you can get a pair of like really good spotter binoculars for 50 C-bills.
Oh yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Better
Yep.
idea.
I'll grab one
Yeah.
of those too. Caleb's gonna take the night shift mostly,
Okay.
watching the building for activity.
All right. Arnstein, give me a fix plus intelligence roll, please. Okay. I will make a note of that. Okay. So for the surveillance, if it's just going to be you four, I'm including Bob in this. Doing the surveillance, you guys can do 24-hour surveillance on one building relatively easily. I think the best skill would be notice plus intelligence. So you guys are going to do this for several days, I'm assuming, you said, and try to build patterns.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
So
Patterns, numbers, how many people are there? Do they have mechs powered up? Do they have
right.
guards? That sort of thing.
Give me, and you're only doing the outpost, not the bulls, or are you trying to do both?
Well, that's a good question. I guess we hadn't really discussed it, but I mean, we do have more than just the four of us. I would expect that we could talk Stanislav into maybe Stanislav and Ran into watching the bulls at least a little bit.
Ran would not be interested in doing that. Brain fart. Noguchi would be willing to help. Tai would be willing to help.
So I definitely think we would ask them to do that.
Okay. So between the six of you, I would like to let me know. Okay, so we're going to get 2 rolls a person. So that's going to be 12 rolls total. And I want to know, before you guys roll, how you're distributing the checks between the abandoned warehouse and the bulls.
Should we, question for the players, divide into two teams of 3? Arnstein could join on watching the stable, and you other 3 could join do the warehouse.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. 3 ought to be enough to cover it. I mean, you could do
8-hour
shifts and
shifts.
cover it pretty easily. And yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Okay, I'm going to pop this out. All right.
Also makes it simple. It's half and half for the rolls.
Yep. So, okay, so we'll start with Morena, Caleb, and Bob, who are going to be watching that. Yep. So 2 rolls each of you. Bob has a total of +1, so I'll have one of you guys roll for Bob. Tell me how many at +8 and how many at +10 you get. Or 8, sorry, 8 and 10s or more.
Oh, that's notice.
Yeah, not knowledge, but notice. There we go.
I can't believe I rolled
5
a 3.
and 9. So it's a 9. It's 1 above 8 thingy. 1 9.
That's horrific. Considering the bonuses I've got, that's just absolutely horrific.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 2 more rolls at +1.
Bob's.
Yep, for
right?
Bob.
I can do that.
Please.
Or were you doing that?
No. Somebody do it.
I'll do it.
I don't have the character for Bob, so.
That's why I just gave
Slash.
you a total of +1. So
Oh, right.
Well, out of those 4, I've got 1 above 8.
Yeah, Caleb has +1 and -1 on his own roll.
oh,
So
okay,
it would be 0. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so I added 1 for the last 2 for Bob.
Got
Yeah.
it. So we have 2 at an 8+ total.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
All right. So what you guys would see and hear from here, is there seems to be activity at this building 24/7. Like there's obviously people around here 24/7. You see at least 2 people regularly like exit the building and go hang out the front door smoking or similar, like hanging out
Always
chatting.
the same?
With 2 successes at an 8, I'm gonna say they're wearing similar clothing.
Ouch.
You don't know if it's the same 2 people or if it's 2 different people, like rotating people or the same people. I would say that's not really regular intervals throughout the day that they're coming out. That, you know, it's one of those things where smokers gonna smoke. They're outside. They come out for like between 10 minutes and a half an hour, and then they go back in. You guys never see anybody like vehicles pull up, and you never see people arrive for work or leave from work, if that makes sense. Like
Right.
the people come out, they smoke, but other than that, there's no real entering or exiting this building.
But the place is big enough to have residence, right, for a couple of people.
People could be living there, yes.
And do we get any idea looking through windows how many people might be in there?
So the windows are like papered over, obscured. You would have to get a lot closer than I assumed you got for the surveillance to be able to see if you could open a window enough to see inside.
Fair enough. What about the tunnel recordings?
Okay, so tunnel recordings, give me and this can be anybody. Give me an intelligence plus intelligence plus program.
That's probably going to be Arnstein then.
Go ahead and make it 2 rolls as well. So 1 at +10. 1 at
Nice.
+12. Okay. So you set up a camera and you get a good like telescopic view of the end of this hallway. It's not exactly a hallway. This tunnel as it like opens up into a cross. So you set it up so that it frames this pretty well. You set it for IR. You can see there is I guess you'd call it a sensor platform or basically a camera at the other end with its own IR light. But you can use passive IR to get heat moving past, as opposed to like that thing is using like actively shining a light out so that you can see.
Like a flashlight for a
Yeah,
camera. To see
it
the-
basically looks like a grayscale flashlight. Or grayscale image, but so what you can get from the camera is there are regular movements of like there is a words. Small or not small. There is a vehicle. Judging by the sound, it has an ICE, so internal combustion engine as opposed to a fusion engine. That regularly travels up and down the far end of this, and it's got unknown number of passengers. So it's
So are we talking like
it's
APC size?
Yes.
12 people in it,
it could hold
possibly.
Yeah, it could. It's a wheeled vehicle. So could like a 6-wheeled, so 2 in front and 4 in back. And it has it's an APC, like could carry a troop of dudes. And it passes by multiple times per day.
Any sort of schedule we can figure out from that?
Yeah. So it's gonna go past once in the morning, once in the like early afternoon, once in the late evening, and once kind of in the middle of the night. And it's one of those things where it goes left across the screen, and then half an hour later it goes right across the screen, and then it's a few hours, and then it goes left across the screen, and half an hour later it goes right across the screen.
So it stays at the off the books location for like half an hour maximum.
Ish,
Like
yep.
that side. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty you
You do not detect, unless you do not detect any mech traffic. I mean, it would be real obvious.
really obvious.
Thump, thump.
Yeah, not only thump thump thump, but mechs are hot. Even
Really?
even when they're running underground, just idling along.
I did not know they were hot, even if they were like not doing anything actively except for like slowly moving.
Yeah, so so you can shut down the heat sinks, which were heat sink is the wrong term, but what are you gonna do with it? It's the 80s. Basically,
The
radiators. You can shut down the radiators and make them like background temperature cool, but if you do that, you're gaining heat every 10 seconds, or you're gaining heat constantly as your fusion engine is off-putting heat to just power the mech and move it. So it's a lot cooler than in like battle. In battle, the things run like if you walked up to it and just held your hand on an undamaged piece of armor, we're talking probably 70-80 C for just the armor plates, not the probably 110 to 200 C radiators.
Oh, Arnstein was just climbing up that mech's leg.
Yeah, he was. He was in like
Adrenaline mode.
adrenaline stress.
Right.
And the radiators are relatively protected, so they have a throat so that you can't just put a bullet down and stuff. So it's just hot air blowing out of them. But then there's a plume of hot air blowing out of them.
Constantly.
Yep.
Yeah, fusion reactors aren't really a thing you can like ramp up and ramp down, right?
It takes a minute, and I mean, yes, you can turn them up and turn them down a little bit, but it's to run the muscles for mechs is basically electricity powered. And so if you turn down how active your reactor is, you turn down how fast you can move.
Right, makes sense.
So let me see if I got the schedule right. There's 4 trips mid-morning or fairly early morning, mid-afternoon, at night, and when was the other one?
Middle of the night.
Late
one
evening, midnight.
and one midnight.
Okay.
Yeah, so plus or minus 2 hours on either side, but like 8 a.m., 1 p.m., 6 p.m., midnight.
And they're all like within like 30 minutes of that, right? They're not like exactly on the dot.
It's I would say plus or minus 2 hours on either side of
Okay.
that. All right, so the Bulls. Arnstein, I guess you're gonna get to do a lot of rolling here. So roll your notice plus intelligence for your surveillance, and then for Tai gets a +1 and Stanislav gets a +3 total. Holy buckets.
Wow. We
That's
should have had
awesome.
you.
Good
We
rolls.
should have swapped around who was looking at what.
After effect.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
So 2 above 8 and 2 above 10.
And the two above 10 are 12 and 14.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you guys see here are the Bulls is they have like a day crew and a night crew apparently. So you're not sure if it's like 12-hour shifts or you see like a group of people flood in the morning. And then there's a noon let out kind of where people go out and eat lunch, say, and then people come back in, and then at like 7 or 8 p.m. you get kind of a shift changeover where you get one group arriving and one group leaving, and then that goes on like that crew seems to stay there for the evening, and then it swaps back over in the morning where the night shift leaves not 0 time before, but not long before day shift arrives, half an hour maybe, and then day shift arrives. You kind of have that mass of people arriving are all about the same time. There are 2 people who are trying to not be guards at the front door who are obviously being guards. There are 2 people who are guarding the back door. You guys spot at least 4 camera installations that are covering various parts of this building. 2 people in the front, 2 people in the back. Cameras on the side where people aren't covering as well. With a 12 and a 14, and then you get 2 8s as well. Okay, you got 2 8s as well. That's enough for counts. So let me get you. So whoopsie, nope, that's not right. Don't look at stream right now. We're busy being secret. There we go. So day shift is 20. $31 people, and night shift is be 23 people. And that does not include the 4 does not include the 4 people who are like guarding the front and guarding the back. Who like 8 people total. People arrive, leave, whatever. Stanislav gets a good enough look at it. He like can identify individuals. So there are a total of 12 guards. They take basically 3 shifts, and so there's not all the guards are arriving at the same time and leaving at the same time. One arrives and one of them leaves, and then another one arrives later, another one leaves, sort of thing.
Guards on staggered swaps.
Yes. But the groups of people, like the day shift, night shift people, arrive in crews.
What about active mechs?
Get indication of mechs powering off and powering on a like maintenance cycle, I guess you'd call it. Like Arnstein, you've got enough experience. Like these are people like powering on a mech to test a system out or check the running of its engine, or do something, maybe leaving it run for a few hours during some tests, but not like this is not like, as far as you can tell, and talking with Tai especially, this is not like they leave a certain number of mechs always running and a certain number of mechs in hot startup and a certain number of mechs shut down like you would expect for a scramble type setup. This is more maintenance cycle, power off, power on.
The day shift was 31, and I think you said the night shift was 23 strong.
Yes, and that's with Stanislav is like he can tell you like, oh yeah, these are the same people who are showing up every day and every night, sort of thing. Like the unlike the staggered guard shifts, these are not like staggered crew shifts.
It's all 23 leave, and half an hour later, all 31 day shift arrive.
Yeah. And then all day shift people are there for the day.
And this is like 7 a.m. when the 7:30 a.m. when the night shift leaves.
Yeah. There's not a lot of overlap between the two shifts, but there's definitely some people who stay late on day shift and then will leave after day shift, or after all night shift is there. Same on the other side. There'll be like 3 or 4 who arrive with night shift and then don't leave until after day shift is gone.
All right. Is there anything else we want to know from the surveillance?
Any mech power-ups on the warehouse?
Surveillance did not discover anything about that.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, before when Arnstein walked by, he saw some like flashing lights from inside, right? From like behind the paper.
Yeah,
welding
like
sparks.
arc welding type,
Yeah.
or grinding or other type work. He also spotted several mechs.
2 mechs, the big heavy ones.
And 4 bays, right?
Yep.
All right. So, trying to think, we probably need to discuss our plan of attack based on the surveillance. Do you think, or?
I think nothing really changed from what we discussed before, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it's still pretty much the same.
Yeah.
One thing is, I don't know that we really went over is how and when do we get our accomplices, and whatnot.
Right. We probably have to meet up with the crew again, Stanislav and Tai and everyone who's in.
So maybe let's say we had daily planning meetings.
With Tai and Stanislav, at least.
Right. Whoever isn't on surveillance, so sort of a rotating planning meeting.
Sure.
Perhaps. But so as far as the crew goes, we're going to need people to pilot all of our 17 mechs, right? Because we're going to get them all.
Stanislav is chuckling. Yes, we will get them all.
So here's what I'm thinking. The day of the op, maybe say 12 hours before, we call a company meeting and we sequester everyone. Maybe even fire up the jammer to give it a try and make sure that no one has a chance to contact anybody outside and lay it out for them.
Okay.
Well, company-wide meeting might be a little bit much, at least to people who we think might be interested. Right?
I mean, we really want...
We don't want to force anyone to come along with us, do we?
No, but I don't want anybody getting wind of it. Like, what are you up to? Well, I'm just gonna go grab a mech. I mean, I don't want anybody around. They don't have to join us, but they can't leave the room. Is where I'm going from.
Like at all, or for them?
Well, until it's done.
Right.
12 hours. You know.
Operational security.
Yeah, 12 to 18 hours.
Tai looks at you and goes, nothing that I have pulled up or you guys have pulled up have indicated any of the mech warriors were involved with any of this. And we can trust Ran, and perhaps Ran can point us to a few more mech warriors. We have, with everybody, with the entire stable, we have 12 mech warriors and maybe 2 or 3 techs who won't cause a mech to fall over the first time they get into one. I'm pretty sure Ran would be one of those people.
Right.
Well, okay, and obviously,
I'd imagine the head tech too.
yes. So Kyoko doesn't like to admit it, but she trained as a mech warrior. She just much prefers not getting shot at. So she could pilot a mech. I don't know that I would say she wants to be anywhere that might be considered under fire. Bad experience on Misery, and I don't ask her about it. Nor do I want to know. She could walk a mech out. That gets us 14.
We need 17 potentially, but we do have some time. So
Question. So we're planning on walking off planet with 24 mechs total? You're thinking?
That's the hope.
So we could load all of the Valkyrie mechs are fully operational at this point. No ammunition on them. Last thing I want to do is to load ammunition on them for this. I'm assuming you guys aren't going to want to walk through the bull's front door with a mech.
Not from the outside to the inside, but maybe the other way.
So what we could do is load Valkyrie out onto Rand's dropship. And prep them basically for leaving. And then get the Bulls mechs. The plan would be to load them onto Gunnar's Gunnar. She like doesn't know how to say his name.
Either works.
Okay. Load them into Gunnar's dropship because well, he owns it, and so we don't have a independent pilot to like worry about schedule, so that's there's a little more freedom there if we need to get off planet a little quickly, perhaps. So we could have Valkyrie on a dropship ready to go. Stanislav in Stanislav goes, yes, I think we can cover the load on and everything. No problem.
I look at
So,
Arsten. You did
Claire- Go
the
ahead.
calculations, right? Were there any mechs we were gonna sell?
Yeah, that's where I was going as well. And just a clarification, when Rand said she wanted 5, that was 5 free and clear for Yakuza, right?
So, yes, she wants 5 free and clear for the Yakuza, and she's not like super picky on weight class. Actually, towards the lighter end of the scale is probably more useful for them.
Yeah, makes sense. In city.
Well, it's city. It's also hiding them, and mobility. So she wants 5 mechs, on the lighter end of the scale,
And that are cleared for most payment, right?
and don't have a bunch of people who are going, hey, I own that mech. Although a little bit of that is probably a deal with a bull as far as she is concerned.
All right, so
So which mechs were we gonna sell?
that's what I was looking at the list, and I
The
think
spreadsheet contains 1 mech that has to come from Valkyrie.
yeah,
if-
the Wasp.
If the Wasp, everything else comes from the bulls.
Well, also paying off the other things, or were we not gonna do that?
We would do that at Galatea.
Ah, okay.
At least that's the plan.
Got it.
So yeah, we would not load all of Valkyrie, all except for a Wasp.
Question, Caleb and sort of Hedge. Why, if we could, why not just drop the Valk Wasp and throw in Firestarter?
And keep the wasp, you mean?
Yeah, keep the Valk Wasp because logistics, yo.
We have one
Fire-
dropship ready.
Yeah, Firestarter's I would say a fair bit better mech if we can. I think it's both worth more. Yeah, it's worth almost twice what a Wasp is, and it's quite a bit more combat effective.
It's a Wasp is a very light scout unit. It's highly mobile, and it is there to be your eyes on the battlefield. Firestarter is an anti-infantry unit.
Yeah,
it's
which
not,
might be very useful tonight.
Yeah, it's not as fast, but it's really, really, really good at killing soldiers, or crowds, or like. I mean, there's a reason why.
Machine guns.
Well, flamers and light lasers. It is. There's a reason why in modern times flamethrowers are banned from use on battlefields. So flamers and light lasers are really effective, which it has a lot of, at killing soldiers.
But it's not like a good Geneva Convention kind of thing, right?
No, it's nothing. There's nothing in the Ares Convention against using flamethrowers. The Ares Convention is all about protecting planets' inhabitability.
Right, no nuking.
Yeah,
Planet.
no nuclear, biological, or chemical warfare is allowed, because you might want to actually hold a
Let's
planet
have a-
after you've taken it over.
Less habitable planets is not good.
Okay.
Then, I've got a different idea, sort of, maybe. Keep the Wasp off for payment. Run Kyoko in the Valk. As soon as we get it, run her with some backup off and load it up and dust off as soon as we possibly can with it.
I have a logistical question for you. do you plan on her loading into a mech carrier? Do you have her plan on just running the mech, which is gonna possibly attract police attention? Or do you plan on taking the mechs through the tunnels?
So the idea would be that we would get the mechs through the tunnels to a legitimate loadout, load them in a normal mech carrier onto the drop ships. I don't think we're going to be dusting off, pull the trigger, mop everything up, and then dust off within a couple hours. I figure it's probably most of a day before we actually leave.
Okay. So you're not planning on pulling up outside the pirate location, let's call it, with a 4 mech carrier and just loading mechs on there.
No.
Okay, that's I want to be able to picture in my brain what's going on. So
I think our general intention was to go to the mostly start at the off the books location. Try, if everything goes right, try and get the mechs down the tunnels to Valkyrie, and from Valkyrie load them up to the spaceport.
okay,
And then travel over to the Bulls location if they didn't get message yet, and then try and infiltrate there, get the mechs out towards the tunnel, towards Valkyrie, and then just do the same thing.
okay.
Right?
And point of clarification, on the drawing, the tunnels do stop short of the Bulls?
Yeah, so the tunnels go all the way, as far as you can tell, all the way to the pirate location. They do stop probably 3 or 4 blocks from the Bulls, but not actually under the building, as far as you can tell.
Who knows if they've expanded the tunnel?
Yeah, that would
Wait.
be...
Did the surveillance from the Bulls location actually see the entry location for the tunnel?
Or better, did it see the APC traveling from the Bulls?
It saw the entrance to the tunnels. No real activity. With the you got a 14. Enough surveillance on it to know that it's like the covering is removable without obvious tampering. Like you could get through that opening without blowing up a building or making it obvious that somebody has opened up that path. Do not see an APC pulling in or out of that tunnel set there.
And it didn't go the word towards this location, right? It was clearly going between the Bulls and
It was clearly moving past this corner towards this way. Yep.
right. Yeah, not towards this way.
Right.
Okay, clear. Thank you. So that makes it probable that there's something more going on that meets the eye.
Given that the entrance is several blocks away from the Bulls, I'm thinking there's no reason not to at least peek our noses through there, similar to what we did when we were going through the tunnel.
Right.
To see if what we could see, have placed another recorder down, as close as we can. Yeah, somewhere in there.
As long
basically,
as we don't see like another IR camera set from them.
Exactly, same sort of deal.
Okay, I would like a stealth roll from who's ever going to be doing that bit of surveillance. The timing you could get pretty easily based on when stuff's moving around. I want to know how close and confident you get.
I would say that's probably Stanislav, wouldn't it be?
Sneak plus dex?
So Stanislav would be willing to go. Are any of you guys going with him?
I'm at the flat 0 on that one.
Yeah,
So-
given Caleb's rolls, he's not willing to if there's a something to knock over, he's gonna knock it over. So he's gonna stay out of that one.
So, Stanislav going by himself. Okay.
I would probably join in. I have Flat Zero too, but
Okay, so Stanislav has a +1 sneak. So give me a roll for you and a roll for him. Okay.
plus Dex, right?
Yep. Okay. So you guys get into the tunnel, like through this ish area.
Oh, I borrowed the night vision thingies then from either Caleb or Arnstein, right?
Yeah. You get a ways in, and let me give him a. Give me a 2d6 plus 3 for his notice roll, please, Marina. And you can give me a notice roll for you as well.
Notice plus ints, notice plus whiz.
Notice plus wisdom. Okay. So he points out as you guys are going, you guys get kilometer or two down the tunnel and start noticing a large amount of foot traffic. Are you going up towards the bulls, or are you going towards the corner?
I think our objective was to go like entry somewhere here, right? And then go that way, right?
Oh, the intersection is camera. We already know there's cameras there.
Yeah, I would say it's. Did they expand the tunnels? Is really the question we want to know.
Right.
Okay, so it'd be like entry here and then walking this way.
Yeah. I think so. If that's possible, if there's an entry point there.
Yes. So you guys walked that. You find evidence of foot traffic, like human foot traffic, and occasional mech traffic. In the. You didn't get an amazing notice roll. You're thinking mediums and heavies possibly. Walking towards the Bulls Stadium, or not Bulls Stadium, Bulls thing. You do follow it all the way through to the end and do not find either there is no connecting tunnel, or the tunnel has been hidden incredibly well for something that can pass a mech. All the way into the bulls. You possibly, like, it's creepy and dark, and there's enough foot traffic, obvious foot traffic down here. You guys don't do a lot of time, like, going off in side tunnel, like Mandor type passages on the side. So
there are a lot of those?
There are a lot of those old maintenance passages for people. Right. So you're unsure if a human-sized entryway goes into the bulls, but you're moderately confident that a mech-sized entryway hasn't been hollowed out in towards the bulls stable.
Okay.
And to be clear, the entryway we were talking about, that's 3 or 4 blocks from the bulls, that is mech-sized?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, this one.
You could drive. It's an old subway to not subway transition.
Like a metro.
Yeah.
Going from underground to overground metro.
Right. There's a old disused station nearby. It's wide enough for mechs or vehicles to pass down into the tunnels pretty easily.
And fairly smooth usually.
Yeah, it's rail, so it's got a fairly gentle grade, because trains don't like steep hills.
Yep.
So, question: does Valkyrie have access to mech carriers?
They're relatively easy to rent, or like, they're what usually would load you guys out for a match. But to just, get some that haul you on the mech line to to the drop drop port, no problem. People are willing to take money for doing that sort of thing.
Actually doing the transport, or just renting the vehicles?
Generally speaking, they are like a taxi. They pick your mech up and drop it off. They like drive up, you load mechs on, they drive them to location, you load mechs off. Probably could find some to rent.
I might know a guy.
You might know a guy. Let's see if you know a guy. You know a guy who's willing to give you access to, how many do you want? And how long do you want them?
Oh, I think about 36 hours ought to cover it.
Okay.
As far as how many, let's see, each transport will carry one mech. Is that
Each transport will
typical?
carry 4.
Oh,
We have
They can
12
carry up to
levels.
400 tons, and they've got basically locks.
slots.
Yeah, that you can basically walk a mech into. They can kind of lock in.
We got
So-
4 lances plus 1, but we're giving away 1 lance plus 1. So
Well, we got to transport that too from there. So
Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. We get the transports, use those to load Valkyrie onto the one drop ship, and then drive them down into the tunnel a ways back, so that any mechs that we need to transport that way, we can do so. And I'm thinking it might be a lot less obvious if we transport mechs from the bowls on transports as opposed to walking them.
yeah,
Yes.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We do. We get enough for how fast do these move when they're loaded?
On the rail system, probably 80 kilometers an hour, 50
We're
miles an
talking
hour.
in the tunnels.
So in the tunnels, they would be on wheels, and unloaded, they can get close to 80. Loaded, it's closer to 30 kilometers an hour.
makes sense.
So they have both. So the brown is basically a rail line sort of thing, that is designed to carry these. You can also drive them off of it onto big treads. The one thing you did notice about the old subway system is it's in disrepair, so it probably wouldn't handle the weight of a fully loaded one of these carrying mechs.
Are the rail system like heavily monitored? Like you have to like sign forms so like which mechs are going on it.
No,
Okay.
you guys, like, it's common in this town to see them going back and forth and up and down. Like, if you just hung out outside Valkyrie, you'd probably see 10 past you a day.
So nobody'd think twice. Okay.
except maybe the ones that saw 12 mechs stomp out of balls. But no one 3 miles down would mind.
Right.
So how much would it cost to rent 4 of these?
4 of them would be enough for 16 mechs. For 36 hours, you guys supply your own driver. I'm thinking that would probably be on the order of 1,000 sea bills a carrier for 36 hours of having them. You're gonna there. It's one of those things where the tank is full when you get it. Make sure it's full when you give it back.
Oh, you want to pay for fuel too? Man.
Yeah. So I would say it's probably on the order of 1,000 sea bills for 36 hours per carrying 4 mechs.
Wait, they're carrying a 400 tons with a combustion engine?
It's a
It's probably a fusion engine.
So that these would the ones you guys would be getting that'll go 80 would be fusions. So basically similar to what a light mech would have.
So how does fuel work for that?
You carefully hook it up to a hydrogen line.
Okay, that's probably cheap because hydrogen's not that expensive, right?
Well, when you're talking probably
Deuterium.
hydrogen 3.
Yeah. Oh, tritium, yeah.
Oh, that might be a bit expensive.
I mean, it's probably a little more expensive than gasoline, considering they have fusion reactors to help make it, but
They also don't need that much.
no, it doesn't take a whole lot. It's just that was me
Like if-
joking about renting a car, I guess.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Pick up on it.
Also, just 400 tons on rails is nothing. There are diesel-electric trains transporting thousands of tons.
Yeah.
So with these transports, would we have to choose up front which kind we got, or can they transition between them?
So it has both the rail wheels, the steel rail wheels, and also not every, like the Misfits, is too far from a railhead to actually get a direct line like Valkyrie is. So like they have to drive them onto reinforced city streets to actually get to the Misfits stable. So pretty much all of these would have both wheel, like rubber, hardened rubber, or like dense rubber wheels that can drive on pavement, and also basically the gauge rail line for the mech transport system. Don't take them off-road because they get stuck real fast.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Sure.
They're not like, it's not like a mech recovery vehicle which is designed to travel off-road into battlefield situations.
Next question, and I haven't run this past Arnstein and Marina yet, but if we were to say have mechs that were powered up with a pilot in them riding on these, how long would it take to step off?
Basically instantaneously. That would be basically how you do it when you unload onto you would have the control for the connection to the vehicle inside of the mech, and then you would just hit the button and step out. It's not like there's closed sides.
No, like chains or anything we'd have to undo, or
No,
anything like
it's probably maglock type connections.
interesting. Okay, yes, we're definitely going to get these. Little bit of planning on the fly here, but yeah, I think we're definitely going to get 4 of them. And I'm thinking, what do you guys think? Split 1,000 for each of us and cover it.
I don't
Yep.
have that kind of money.
I'll float you a loan.
I need to keep some money in reserve in case we need to buy a jammer.
Right.
All right, fine. I'll buy 4 of them.
No, I've got enough for one. I just can't afford more.
All right, I'll swing for 2 of them. I'm assuming Bob's good for 1. I haven't looked at.
Yeah, you
What
guys
he's
you guys
got.
split up a large payment recently.
No,
Right.
we only
750.
no. We only got the one from the winnings, right? From our
No, you
we
guys-
split up the 15K for the data.
oh
So you have more than you think you have.
yes.
Yeah, an extra
We-
37.50, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Then I can pay for it probably.
Okay.
I think you spent 1,000 on a gun.
Yeah.
So you've got at least 2,750 left.
Okay, let's keep it at that for now. And then 2,000 left is going off from that for the real mint thingy.
Cool. So we'll arrange for those to arrive. Let's see, timelines. So based on the surveillance, we're thinking here's what I'm thinking is back in our planning session.
Mhm.
I'm thinking the opportune time to strike the hidden location would be after the APC returns in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Once we see it go back to the right, that's our signal to go.
Okay.
No live feed though.
Well, you can have eyeballs down there. That's the other question, is where do we attack from? So from the location of the cameras that are actually watching the tunnels to the, following the tunnels to the entrance, or is it like a click, or how long would it take to go there?
So going this way is about a click, yeah.
No, so I'm assuming we got fairly close to the intersection before the camera was there. So starting just out of range of the camera, headed toward the hidden.
So like starting here?
Yeah, essentially going from there to
So grab the camera from there. I'm trying to picture in my head what you want to do.
Attack through the tunnels.
So if you
one possibility.
Okay, so that is, so it's about what, a mile and a bit that way, 1.4 miles. You guys haven't ever been in that section of tunnel, so you don't know what's there.
At least 2.6 kilometers.
Yeah.
So that's sounding less practical, just given that distance.
Half an hour by foot.
Yeah, you could probably find an entrance, but you wouldn't know if it's monitored. So one of the reasons why you came in over here to click away was you didn't see any activity and you were pretty sure it wasn't monitored. That becomes much less sure now that you have regular vehicle traffic from here to here.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess my idea going through the tunnels is probably not the way to do. I think we start on the outside, but we'd need a spotter underneath.
That can communicate with us through all the concrete.
And the jammer.
So
we wouldn't turn the jammer on until they go back.
So you could wire. Arnstein thinks he could probably wire up a hard line to come from basically a kilometer of hard line to come out of the camera out of the tunnel to probably something like a transmitter. Whether
With
or not
the recording only equipment we've got, basically convert it to send the recording over the wire, make it live.
Yeah. That would not be a hard, that's just, plugging in a cable and then running said cable through enough amplification equipment to send a signal.
Yeah.
Like that I can picture how to do that today. So
I mean,
you guys can figure out how to do that in 3028.
running a mile-long UTP cable, that's not going to be fun.
So you could get a device that would give you a live feed. It's probably gonna be somewhat unreliable signal, just because you're still transmitting it, unless you want to have somebody at the mouth, saying, "Oh, they've went past. They should be back within a half an hour. Timer starts now. We move it in an hour or whatever." That
may be a good. We're gonna have the APCs down there anyway.
That sounds maybe like a job for if Ran wants to do it. Just like get a cable up to some sort of monitor at her and give her walkie-talkie.
She would probably be willing to do that, considering she's expecting payments in mechs.
Yeah, you got to have at least a little skin in the game. So
I mean, she does have skin in the game. She's finding a dropship for you guys,
Yeah.
fair enough.
And she wants to join us.
and she wants to join you. But yeah, she'd be willing to basically be the signal man to tell you that an APC has moved either direction.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
she'd
here,
probably know about the schedule.
I mean, she's definitely in on. I assume she's in on the planning sessions that we've got going on as well.
I had also made that assumption.
All right, so here's how I see it right now, and I assume maybe we're a day or two out still from go time, but so 12 hours or so before the op. So say late afternoon. Okay, I guess it brings up another question. How long would it take to get the Valk mechs loaded onto the dropship?
It's on the order of an hour to start them up. Get them loaded takes a few minutes. Actually get to the dropship, it's about an hour's drive on the, because of traffic mostly, on the rail line, and then to get them onto the dropship and secured is probably about another hour. So about 3 hours.
And then 2 hours for the loader to get back to the bulls or something, right, over the line system.
And
Back
then
to Valkyrie.
and then it'd be another hour, or maybe a little less to Valkyrie, and another, if you wanted to park them like here, it'd be another hour there.
Would there be an entrance to where we could get them down in the tunnels? I don't know how you ping a spot, but
Click on hold button down. There are probably entrances there. If you're willing to drive it off road, there's probably a surface entrance somewhere in there.
I mean, I'd be okay if there's like an entrance here, getting them in the tunnels there, and then driving them up to here.
Right.
So okay, say figure 6 hours for breakdowns or whatever. So yeah, say early afternoon or say mid afternoon, we load up the mechs. We start the process of getting the Valk mechs onto the dropship.
Mm-hmm.
Then by let's see, it'd be 2000 hours, so 8 p.m.
Okay.
We figure that they're back at Valkyrie, and we move them to this point and load them into the tunnels.
Okay.
And drive them up so that they're clearly back from the entrance, but within staging, essentially stage the mech carriers.
Okay.
Who's gonna drive him?
Some of the
Figure
techs
that we
would
could probably
be,
have the techs.
some of the techs would be validated on driving the mech carriers. You could probably get from Ran who she would trust for that.
All right. So those are essentially staged by, say, 10 p.m.
Okay.
We're going to want two. If the Yakuza are going to get all the Wasp, we need to let the Valk Wasp. Yeah, we would leave the Valk Wasp essentially in the Valk stable.
Or you would just give it to them at the start.
Yeah, we can give it to them beforehand, right?
You could just say, "Hey, Ran, have somebody pick up from your
Down
group.
payment.
Pick up at this time."
Yep, that sounds good. It'd be a good faith payment.
They're more than happy to take your good faith payment.
Can't imagine. All right, so all right, we're gonna want. I think the way we discussed it, we plan to have 2 assault teams.
Wait. We did not have enough people to get all the mechs, right?
Right.
We have 12.
With
pilots.
that secure Wasp, can we maybe ask them to get some of their mech warriors, like for the other 4, to go with us?
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason for the mech carriers.
Yeah, but even with the mech carrier, we need someone. We've got 14 mech pilots.
Yeah.
And 17 mechs.
I mean, you
Right.
can
So
run in
you've
and
got
out.
yeah, you've got enough mech pilots to load them up onto the carriers, and then you can hop out of the mech, go to the next one.
Right. Okay, fine. Works.
Just an FYI, if we're talking an hour to start up, that means at least 2 hours to get out.
Do you have to be in the mech for the full hour for it to start up?
No.
You can hit the startup button, probably get some parameters correct, and then jump on to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's from cold. Or if you want to do it faster, you can. There's more risk in something going wrong. But
Like how much faster and how much risk?
So crash starting a mech from cold is gonna take about, from truly cold shutdown, I'm gonna say it's gonna take about 10 minutes. And you would want to be in the pilot seat for all of that, because you want to hit the scram button on the reactor before the reactor decides to scram itself. Which
and is that I'm dumping the whole core and it doesn't have a way to start up after that, or is it just a reset?
So it'd be if you did it manually, it would basically dump the fuel, basically vent all the fuel so that the reactor just shut down, and then it would be refuel it, and then start it up again. If the reactor scrams itself, we're probably breaching the magnetic containment on the side of it, because it started up wrong and the reactor needs to be replaced. Or, good 100 hours of tech time to get it tuned back in.
Let's just try and get the people in the stable under control, and then we get the time that we want. Right?
Yeah, I think. Is there sort of a middle option between the 10-minute startup and the hour? Like where you could do it where it's relatively safe, but it's maybe half hour, 45 minutes?
Yeah, so there's all levels of in-between time. So depending on what all you're checking and what all you're doing, like the longer it's like if you've ever played like DC-10 or the like really in-depth flight simulators where you like have to flip this switch and then you read off your list and you says to set this style of this, and you're going down your checklist. That's the hour one. The I know how to run a mech one is probably on the order of half an hour to do, probably safely. You're probably not going to dump the reactor, but maybe you don't have all of the weapons online and trained in. The 10-minute one is, I need to get this moving right now, otherwise I'm gonna get a PPC to the face.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
So that's the I'm walking out the door and I hope I still have my arms attached speed.
Okay, so we could likely get them up and going. I mean, I would assume the techs would be able to do that half hour sort of startup too.
Yes. I mean, just from their maintenance cycles, that would be the sort of thing they'd be super familiar with on your guys' mechs at the very least. Like each mech has its own unique personality. So, you drive a Thunderbolt. You could sit down in a Thunderbolt and have a pretty good idea of what every switch does, but maybe somebody likes, instead of having the large laser on the trigger on the right hand, maybe they have it on a thumb switch on the left hand, and that sort of weird customization that people do.
Also, gotcha. A Cessna is not a Cessna is not a Cessna.
Right. I mean, you could, if you've flown a Cessna before, there's likely, if you have to, you could hop in a Cessna and fly it. But there's still going to be some muscle memory of that switch does that shuts off the engine on this one.
Or I'm actually thinking a Cessna 172 is not a Cessna 172 is not a Cessna 172 because while they are the same type of aircraft, they are very different temperamental beings.
Right. There's a lot of that too. Mechs have their own personality. You get used to driving one.
Yeah, like tuning them, right?
Yeah. There's also if you are stealing a mech, you also have to tune your neural helmet into the mech's control system, which is not an instantaneous process. That's about a minute of you're sitting in a mech that's not moving and you're fiddling with dials to match its, like the pattern from your brainwaves and inner ears to what the thing says is left, right, up, down, forward, back.
Right.
All right.
Kind of where I want to be, at least 4 Yakuza people on with the thing, because if we can get them to just take theirs and go, we would only have to transport 12.
Well, I mean, we could still transport those 4 with them. It's just that we have more manpower for controlling the people in the stable.
Yeah, if we could get I would say we load the mechs for the Yakuza on one of the transports, and basically it amounts to they drive that off, and we're done with that one.
Well, make sure to return the vehicle.
They're not gonna. They're like Rad would be like, no, they're not gonna screw you over by not returning the
Right.
vehicle.
I mean, they're getting 4 mechs.
Right. And it's helpful to have, if you guys ever come back here someday, it's helpful to have contacts or be owed a favor, perhaps.
Indeed. All right, so if we're loading up at, say, 4 in the afternoon, then we would need to have the all-company meeting at, say, 3. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, 3 in the afternoon, start the meeting. 4 in the afternoon, get the Valks out of the door and start moving towards our locations in the assaults.
So at that point, we'd have a pretty good idea of how much firepower we're going to have. We're planning to have essentially 2 assault groups, one for the hidden location and one for the bulls, so that if our jammer fails or somehow they get a message across, that we don't completely lose the element of surprise.
Which one will the party be involved with?
The hidden base.
Okay.
Oh, we're trying to hit
start
first
with.
the hidden base, then the.
Oh, so you want to hit both, but you want to have like, crap, they got a signal out at the bulls, somebody ready to do that as well.
Yeah, it's just a backup. Ideally, we will have everyone at the bulls.
Okay, got it.
Trying to think, what other planning do we need to do before we pull the trigger? It seems like we've got a pretty good game plan.
Yeah, seems about right.
I'm thinking we load up at least a couple of the mechs onto the carriers and drive the carrier to the bulls with the mech powered up and ready to go, assuming we can liberate one and it's activatable, etc., to have as assistance.
I will bring up a point that I don't know if you guys remember. The APC is pulling through this tunnel, and you guys aren't sure where it ends up, and you never see it leave the tunnel.
Yep.
I
mean, we kind of want to get out of the tunnel at the normal point with the loaders and just load them in the front, right?
So you want to drive the loaders up to here and then load them in to the tunnel and then take that way?
We just want to load the mechs on the loaders in front of the bulls, right? Like you would do with a normal transport. Am I correct?
Yeah, the only reason for the loaders before we attack the bulls is just so we can get to the streets without causing...
Yeah, so they don't stay parked like a block away.
So it basically park them in here
Yeah.
assault this, load onto them, and then take them up to the street level and come back to the bowls?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to I have maps, but I want to make sure I use the maps correctly.
I see. Yeah, I would imagine that we wouldn't actually load the mechs onto the carriers until we get to that point.
Except for the hidden location, of course, but that's a different story.
Okay, so I guess the question is, do you want to take the carriers through the tunnel system, or do you want to take the carriers over streets?
Towards the location, we're going to take them through the tunnels, right? The carriers?
Yeah, so the carriers are going to start here.
Okay,
We're going to assault the hidden location.
got it.
We're going to walk whatever mechs we've got from here to
Okay,
about here and
Okay.
load them on the carriers at that point.
got it.
So the carriers can actually just follow us when
Yeah.
we fly on the mechs and extricate from the tunnels near the bowls and set up for normal operations, loading up 16 mechs.
Right. The initial take is that the carrier will have, we might have 2 or 3 mechs on one carrier toddle up to the bulls like a normal delivery or a normal unload, except that we'll be in the mechs, or at least 1 or 2 of us in the mechs, powered up to provide intimidation, if nothing else, to the bulls as we assault them.
Assaulting the bulls in a mech would get very rapid police response.
Depends on whether the mech's completely inside the building or not.
Accurate. That I will agree to.
Which is the point of the carrier.
Right. All right. So I think I have what you guys are planning down. So you guys, we're gonna hand wave this a little bit. You guys have a conversation. The mech warriors, because of all of the disruptions lately and everything that's been going on, and the fact that several of them got arrested, are down with this plan. They are willing to hop into mechs and drive them off. Most of them are not like, I mean, they're combat soldiers, but they're not used to not being in a mech. So Chelsea and Thomas would be willing to basically handguns and help assault the bulls. But the rest of the mech warriors, with the exception of Noguchi and Stanislav, are like, we will if the place is secure, happily get onto mechs, start them up, and drive them out. But they're not gonna want to be in the line of bullets, as it were. At least not until the point where it's drive mechs out of building sort of thing. You could get 4, like, you could have up to 4 Yakuza with you on either assault. One of them being Ran.
I'm still firmly saying that we should need at least one to be able to pilot away a mech on foot from the secret location, or else we're not gonna have an.
Stanislav is happy to drive the Orion from the secret location.
Yeah, I'm speaking of a Yakuza,
Okay.
just to get, because four carriers is 16 mechs. If we get everything, that's 17.
Okay.
One too many.
Yeah. So the four Yakuza who would be going with you, with the exception of Ren, would be mech pilots.
Well, and again, you've got 4 carriers with 16 mechs on them, 14 mech pilots. You only need one of those 14 mech pilots.
Well, to deliver it to the Yakuza, right?
Well, I mean, the carriers remove the need to have an additional pilot, because all those mechs that are on the carriers don't have pilots in them.
14
Yeah.
So I count 17
or 17. I misspoke.
I count 17 even, assuming everybody lives for everything. You have the 12 Valkyrie mech warriors. You have the 2 Valkyrie techs, Ran being one of them, who's not really a mech pilot, but she's not a combat pilot, but she could, get one in a mech and walk. And Kyoko. And then you have 3 additional Yakuza mech pilots who are also willing to be troops, like gunners. So that would be 17.
The problem isn't how many mechs and how many mech pilots. Problem is how many mechs and how many spots for mech on the carriers.
Right. So if you
Yeah, we'll have to walk at least one mech if we get
one mech will have to be at least some level of walking through tunnels to get to a place. But if it's one of the Yakuza mechs, they
That's what I'm saying.
they would know where to go to get to someplace safer.
That's what I'm saying. If one Yakuza mech pilot joins us in the assault, because
Well, they're
There's
willing to give you
likely-
3.
yeah, but at least one on the secret location.
Don't turn
Which-
it down.
Which
You guys can
will-
organize your troops however you want, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out.
Okay.
One Yakuza pilot at the secret location to get in the Wasp and just walk it off wherever they want it.
Yeah, they'd be
Then
happy
we
for
have-
that.
Then we'd have 16 mechs and 16 slots. But
Yeah,
instead of
I gotcha.
us grabbing one of the ones we want and stomping them like 3 hours through a tunnel, we just one of the pilots is gone.
Yeah, that makes sense. I got you now. All
Because-
right. So as far as troops go, we've got the 4 of us, Stanislav, Tai, and 4 Yakuza.
Yeah, one of which is Ran. And also Chelsea and Thomas Scarzi.
4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guns total, and we've already figured that Ran is watching for the APC, so that leaves us 11.
And we probably need at least 4 at the other books location to assault. Plus a Yakuza, so that's 5, right?
No
Which
problem.
would leave 6
Or-
for the Bulls.
We could grab more of the Yakuza, but we need at least one that can just get in a mech and go.
No, I'm talking about the assault. That's the entire thing, just the firepower versus what they probably have inside. Likely, not like entirely sure, but
Yeah, it's a question of is 5 of us going to be enough to knock over the hidden location?
that's the question indeed.
I mean, yes, that is the question.
But we
Well-
can't really do more than split halfway because assault in the bulls will be probably more difficult than the other books location. At least, I think we can make
Like,
that assumption.
there's a good assumption that you would not be able to fit 20 something people into the off the books location and the mechs that you have seen there. Like, there's no physical space for that there. So there will
Okay.
be fewer people there than at the Bulls.
So yeah,
But-
I'm thinking the 5 is probably a decent amount. That would leave. So if we do the 4 of us and the Yakuza, Ran is sitting there. So that's 6. That leaves 6. It's going to be Tai, Stanislav, our 2 mech pilots, and the 2 other Yakuza sitting at the Bulls as the everything goes sideways. Let's hit them while we have a chance. Sound right?
Yep.
All right. So we will go ahead and move on to assault number 1. So you guys get in position. Are you going to try to wait until the two guys come out and have a smoke? Or are you going to just hit it when the troop transport like goes back?
Is there in our scheduling thing? Is there like a overlap? Like it would be 4 hours after they would be transferred and stuff, like 4 a.m. that they would take a break.
There's no real schedule that you have determined.
Smokers, they'll either smoke like 5 times in
Right.
2
Okay.
hours or
I
0 times 4.
I would say let's do something like this, right? We wait till we get the call back that the APC is moving back to the bulls. We will wait for 1 hour to see if they come out to smoke. If they don't, then I'll climb down from the building and join you guys, and we'll start assaulting. Otherwise, my bullets will be the starting call.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So, I would like Morena give me 1d20, kind of a luck roll. Roll high. 14. So 30 minutes after. Okay, we're gonna do a thing here. You go there. You guys can't see anything,
black.
right?
It's black.
Okay.
Oh, we're in the tunnels.
So we're gonna drag. So I'm just gonna move you onto the map just so you guys can see stuff.
I'm hugging a corner near to the door.
Caleb and
I would
Morena.
assume that you would be at the jammer, right?
Okay, can you
One
guys
of us
see?
has to be at the
Can you
camera.
see things now? With the exception, well, I'll put Morena on here too, just so that you can see things.
I see a black square.
Yeah. It's still
Okay, so I need to give you vision. Edit.
Great.
Advanced. Nope.
Is it on the map settings?
Oh, I have the map setting set to what I want. I just need to give you guys vision.
We need eyes.
Is it an attribute?
I know how it is. It's that. Aura, radius, nope. Dynamic lighting. Vision. Arnstein can see things now?
Yeah, I can see things.
Okay, so Bob, let's see. Bob doesn't need vision because he's not here. Caleb. Dynamic lighting. Vision. Save.
Yep. I
Morena.
see some chalk outlines.
Okay, good. That's what you should be seeing. Morena, dynamic lighting, vision, save. All right.
Yay.
So you guys aren't currently on the map. I just need to give you guys vision to what's happening, right?
I see a door there.
Yes, that is what you should see.
Okay.
So about half an hour ish after you guys get the signal from Ran, you guys see two guys come out so Arnstein, Bob, and Caleb are on street level somewhere, I'm assuming.
At
With
least somewhere. Yeah,
within
with the
within
trimmer.
vision, but probably not actually on this map.
Mhm.
Okay.
Point of clarification,
Yes.
and just sort of back up in the planning, I assume we would have discussed that them coming out of the building for the smoke would be the signal for the jammer to start. Somebody's got to flip the switch on that, and we don't want to do it too soon.
I mean, on the shots would work too.
Yes, you could have that set
I
up.
wouldn't Yeah, I don't want to cut it that close.
Okay.
So if you want to set it to an hour and the jammer goes on, or an hour, or the people come out the door, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Fine.
So you guys see the guys come out. Arnstein flips on a switch. I need to make a dice roll, please. Everything seems to be working, Arnstein. Okay, Morena, you can take your full minute for your assassination thing. Tell me which one you want to hit, left or right. The person on the left is dressed as a tech. The person on the right has a cooling vest on like a mech warrior.
Oh,
So
yeah,
tell me left or right. And then if you win initiative, you will have another chance to get a shot off on the other guy before he can react.
okay. The guy on the right, the mech warrior, will take the first shot at.
Okay,
'Cause he's
so
most different and dangerous.
go ahead and give me your
Okay. Do you need the explanation as well? Because that's the
Uh,
big thing.
so I need to know what.
The 9 is above an 8, and 8 is normal range, so that's 1 kilometer
Yep.
range.
Correct.
So I would make that. Then the target must make a physical save -4.
They take 38 damage, and then if they would
Yeah.
survive, they need so you see a small hole in the front, and there is a large hole in the back of the person's head as they no longer have a brain in their brain. All right.
Okay.
So now we're gonna roll initiative. I need a sheet.
That's not too
Hold on, I haven't popped open the initiative tracker yet. Sorry.
bad. Oh, no worries. It's a 6, so.
Let me clear this first.
Oh, it was clear for us.
Okay, so now go ahead and either roll it again or add your initiative to the sheet. I
have to roll for my
Rolling
person to be
twice.
added.
Yeah, you might have to roll
But then
twice
it's
to
6.
just.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I got an 8. I just got to figure out how to get into the tracker. Let me try it again. There we go.
Who wants to run, Bob?
I can do it.
Sure.
I don't know what his weapons or anything are, so you'll have to help me out with that. But
Edit. I'm gonna just add him to your journal.
oh, okay, that works.
Caleb. Save changes. So you should have his sheet in your journal now, so you should be able to open it up and look.
And roll
I
by
And roll.
clicking on it.
get his bio and info, but not his sheet. I don't. Think.
Click on the tabs on the top of it.
Yeah, that's it. Only has bio and info in the
Oh.
tabs.
Show to players. Try looking now.
Nope.
Huh. Oh, I think it's edit. Can be edited and controlled by. There we go.
It's a control thing.
Yep. Now can you see character sheet?
Ah, now I can see it.
Okay.
All right. Yep. We'll run Bob.
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead and roll his initiative as well, please.
Yep.
Select
Just a
his
second. Gotta
pawn.
check his skills.
Eastbourne. If Morena wanted a silencer for her sniper rifle, which might be a good idea, it would be 100 C-bills.
Yes. 100 symbols is nothing.
Yeah. So instead of loud bang, which I mean, there's a lot of those in the city, but they're not necessarily next door. It's a much quieter bang, which sounds much further away if you're expecting gunfire.
But snap! It's a snap.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
I mean, the bullet hitting will still be loud.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of time between. Okay,
Yeah.
numerically descending. Haha. All right, so we are moving into initiative. You guys all won. You guys see, Brain go away. Morena, I would assume you're going to say, okay, I'm going to take out one of them and then hopefully get the next one before he can react.
If that would be in my knowledge that I could try that, yes.
If yes, so you could try that. Like that's something that a sniper could do, but your second shot's going to be a normal shot as opposed to the.
Right. Makes
All right.
sense.
So it would be we're initiative for turn order. I'll let you decide if you want to go or not. So Caleb is up first.
Can I wait and basically can Bob and I wait and give Marina a chance to get off the second shot before we
Yes.
go?
Correct.
Okay, let's do that.
You defer your turn to after mine, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Marina.
I will just do the shot then, because I would definitely try that.
Yep.
An 8 to hit. That's a critical fail?
It's
a critical fail.
Oh, roll the 1.
It's a 1, yeah.
All right. So you guys see a bullet. So miss the second person, and pang into the. So you would hear. You would see guy's head explode. You would hear crack, bullet pang off of the brick wall, which is not super loud, and then crack, and then if you wanted to move Caleb, it would be your turn. I'm gonna say you are. How much movement do you have?
Where do I see that? Yeah, I don't think it's different between people.
10 meters, 30 foot.
So you're gonna be. I'm gonna say 30 feet of movement would get you to basically here from where you're standing. If you wanted to move there and shoot the guy, you can surely try that.
Yeah, I would basically run up and flip out my pistol and try and pop him.
Okay. So, is your pistol silenced or not?
Yes, although I forgot to buy it. How much the silencer cost?
For a pistol's probably 75.
Okay, yep, I did plan to do that. So, the pistol silenced, nothing else is.
Okay. And again, that's not movie quiet. It's just not gonna burst your eardrums if you're not wearing hearing protection quiet.
All right, so
17 will hit, 9 damage, and bullet hits the guy's center mass, and down he goes.
I'll be
pretty simple.
Yep. Oh, at the end of my turn when I shot, do I still get movement? Or is that
how close? Well, yes, you would still have movement, but I'm gonna say you're on a building.
Yeah, I'm gonna head towards the stairs and try and slide down it, but I probably don't get far.
Like down the fire escape sort of stairs. I'm gonna say you're 2 turns away from being on this map.
Makes sense.
So all of next turn movement, all the turn after that movement, and then you'll be on this map.
Yep.
Okay. After Caleb, it is Bob's turn. You already moved to get to where you were, Caleb. Yeah.
Oh, so I wasn't moving to get next to him. I was just moving to get.
You moved from wherever you were hiding to get to there.
Okay.
Or there.
I'm assuming then Bob would do basically just the same thing.
Okay. If Bob wanted to, since he's not firing, then proceed to get closer, you can kind of like D&D where you, instead of taking like a shoot action, you could take another movement action.
Yep, we'll do that.
Okay. So, yeah. Yep. Can't see, there's stuff in front of the windows, so you can't really see in. Can't really take any other actions after Bob. Moreno has already gone this turn. Arnstein, you're probably further away because you started up the generator and the thing. So I'm saying bottom left corner would be 30 feet of movement for you. So what in the world is... Oh, that's Moreno. Okay.
I'm always orange. Oh yeah, I'm moved in the corner. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what in the world is that in the corner? But then, okay. So your second one is there. All right. The guy's inside the... Okay. Yeah. No. Bob, sorry, not Bob. Caleb, you're up.
All right, so I'll move to the door, and I'm guessing. Well, let's get there first and see what it says. Can't quite get there in one move, so I guess I'll just take 2 moves to get up to essentially where. There.
Okay. You should be able to see inside somewhat now. I guess I could take away these guys' vision because I can see. That would give me what you guys see. Let's do that. So you see, if you crack the door open, you see a bunch of people. Save.
Like a bunch as in 5 or a bunch as in 50?
Well, I'll tell you here in a second once I've turned off the vision for my NPC so I can see what you guys see.
Well, seeing as he said it would be problematic to fit 20 guys in there earlier, I don't think it's 50.
No, it's like you can see like 5 or
Less than
6
20.
guys. Okay, who still has vision here? Not you.
I can see through the door. That's probably about it.
I gave my guys vision. There we go. Ah, okay. So you can see a couple guys from where you're standing.
Like 3, 2, 5.
Yeah, like 2. Like what you can see, Hedge, is what you see on the map.
So 2.
Yeah. All right, Bob.
So I'll flash just a quick couple fingers to Arnstein and Bob.
So I should actually give Bob vision since he counts for you too. Safe. All right, so Bob is up.
All right. I think Bob's going to get to the door on the other side, set up for an assault, but not go in yet. In the
Okay.
hopes that they haven't really heard or understood what they heard.
Okay. After Bob, Morena moving.
Yes.
Okay, Morena's moving. Arnstein.
I'm thinking about just charging through the door.
It's up to you.
Yeah, he would.
All right. So with that, they're like, "What?" And you see, well, you see what you see.
I see a sliver of 2 guys. Because I'm on a corner of a mech bay or something.
Right. Reactions. There'd be a hey, and they would move. So this guy picks up a wrench or similar and moves over to hit you with it. 3 to hit or 2 to hit.
Probably.
This guy would not do that. This guy would. I need to grab this. Is it hold? Is it?
We can see your arrow, by the way, just so you know.
That's fine. Is
Okay.
how do you get it? Is it right click?
No, you need to select the select tool and not the range tool.
No. I want to see how far walking is.
Pick up the token and just hit right click.
Ah, okay.
With the normal select tool.
Okay, so right click and then
Hold left click and then click right.
you
So
know,
drag it.
no, because that just moves the token.
Oh, wait.
So if I click the whole token, hold it down, and then click right click. Yeah, that doesn't do what for me. What?
Hold left click, start moving it a little bit, then right click, and then move more.
The cursor has to have the token picked up, not just
Yeah,
over
that
it.
moves the map for me.
Oh. Are you using Firefox? No, right?
No, I'm using Chrome.
Yeah, say for me it works.
Oh, you just click it and then let it go. Okay. 10.
Right click and let it go. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, so he can get around. The question was, does he have enough movement to go around this way? He would go ahead and swing at you with another tool of some sort. A 4 to hit you, Arnstein.
Oh.
All right, so this guy would do that. This guy would do that. This guy would move here. This guy would move here. Oopsie. There. All right, that's them. Caleb, you're up again.
All right. So I'll shout, Arnstein! And dive through the door after him.
Okay.
Try and hug the wall, I think. Maybe over toward... I can get quite a ways, so
Yeah.
maybe somewhere in here.
Okay.
No cover there. What's on my west there to the left? Is it a wall or... I don't have vision going. Yeah, like right
that
there.
is a mech gantry, and you can't really see through it.
Okay, but it's not cover either. It's not like I could hide behind a mech leg or anything.
Oh, you could. It's hard cover. Nobody's shooting you through that.
It's like a full wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would get to... I see.
So you see 1, 2. Oh, you can't really walk through it. You'd have to walk around the front.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to get somewhere where I can see. The vision thing is... If I go there, I'm completely blind.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair.
So I'll go there as if I'm back against the wall.
Okay.
Just so I
So
can see.
you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys diving for guns. You also, of course, see this guy over here that's got a wrench bothering Arnstein. Who are you gonna shoot or stab?
All right.
I got this. Get the others.
I'm a pretty good shot, so I think I will go after the ones that are further out. Maybe this guy here.
Okay, go for it.
And I did basically drop the pistol and switching up to the submachine gun.
Go for it. That is a reasonable action. Or you had enough
First
time to
roll.
holster the pistol, be like getting up to the door. So,
Well, yeah, but it had the silencer on it.
fair. That does make it more difficult to holster.
Indeed. All right, so burst mode. I don't know how that works in universe.
Burst
if I
mo-
get actually 3 shots. Or...
No, so burst mode means that you get bonuses to hit and damage. Basically, you're
Gotcha.
more accurate and you do more damage if it's in burst mode. You also burn through more bullets.
That was the question, dude. It's like 3 shots per.
I believe it's 3 per.
Okay.
Burst is indeed 3.
I think in all guns I know, burst has always been 3.
Oh, Jiminy.
19
Which guy did you shoot at? That guy. All right. So, how much HP do they have? Pop this open. Thank you. Character sheet. So he has. You're dead. All right. So you put a 3-round burst into this guy's chest and he goes down.
All right. That's it for him, I think. For me, I mean. Well, it's definitely it for him, but. So on to Bob.
On to Bob.
Basically the same story. He's just following right along after Caleb.
Okay.
And what's his attack was? He's gonna go after this guy right
Okay.
there.
Roll it.
A 7 to hit.
The 7 to hit will miss. So, ping, ping, ping. Bullets bouncing off of like the corner of the mech thing here and the wall behind, and he didn't group his shots near as well. So after
We
Bob,
don't have on the initiative here is the Yakuza that was with us.
oh, shoot. So I
assume we
forgot
can
about
fight
them. So those guys would be one. How many were you bringing? One, right?
Just one.
Okay, so you are name, nameplate, save. You guys should be able to see him now.
Yes.
And how do I give all of you control over him?
Under the same way you do to a normal one, but that I don't think that works. 'Cause then you have to like
You may have to just
give this
roll.
control over all the NPCs that have the same type.
Okay, so I'll just do him. He will move in. He would move in beside Bob. I should give him his own initiative. Add turn. He has initiative of 3. Oh, well, that's convenient. So he is going to go right before them. All right, so he's out. He's right here for now.
He's at the door.
Yeah, he's at the door. He came up behind you and Bob. All right, so Morena's moving again. You are there. Yep.
Okay.
Arnstein.
Chunk chunk. Combat shotgun.
Oh, jeez.
No.
Oh no.
We'll roll for it. Which one are you shooting at?
One that took a swing at me. So
Well-
the guy in front.
I was gonna say both of them took a swing at you. Both of them missed
First one.
horribly. First one, okay.
But I think I'll save the burst for now.
It depends on how many bullets you have.
It gets spares.
Yeah.
I don't know how much combat shotgun. Oh, it has 12 rounds in it. That'll hit and 5 damage. He has okay, so shotgun to the chest. He is wounded but standing. Boom.
Blows back 5 feet.
Right, so he has this many HP left. All right.
Eyeing over my shoulder.
All right, so Yakuza comes in. So click. No, okay. Give me... He's going to go probably... Yeah, he can go to, like, there.
Give him a different color, maybe?
Maybe. Edit. Advanced. No.
You haven't turned on the name showing.
I don't know how to name him differently.
I think you need.
Or not.
Not
I don't know how to.
token
Oh,
service.
tint color. Maybe that.
That'll work.
Okay. So he comes in and thought that the combat shotgun was a great idea, but he's going to do burst mode. Modifier 0. Okay, so 12 to hit will miss. So, boom, 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 and spraying pellets, mostly buckshot around this guy, somehow missing. I don't know how, but you know. Okay, so that's their turn. Okay, so we have a swing at Arnstein. 7 to hit you, Arnstein.
No.
A morale.
I think Arnstein has the most AC of all of us.
Morale check passed. Swing as swing. Arnstein, 3 to hit you.
Oh.
All right, so this guy would come up with an assault rifle and shoot it at probably the Yakuza because he's closest. Burst, yes. No modifier, misses. This guy comes up with a shotgun. Caleb, this one's coming at you.
Right.
Combat shotgun with burst fire. Misses, because a 5 misses. Yep. This guy's got a semi-auto pistol going at the Yakuza. Misses, because he's got an AC of higher than that. This guy's got a semi-auto pistol as well. Misses. This guy's gonna step up, and Caleb, he has an assault rifle. Burst fire, yes, at you. 8 to hit you. Lots of misses is what I'm saying. So this place is now, I'm assuming you guys put in hearing protection because this place is very loud.
Yeah, probably.
Much so, yes.
And after all that, Caleb, you're up.
All right.
So assault rifle, combat shotgun, assault rifle, pistol, melee, and melee.
I have
I'm gonna
no
take-
idea what this is about.
I'm going to step up to sort of the front of the mech, not exactly in cover anymore, and take a shot at the guy with the assault rifle that's right next to me.
Okay, go for it.
Wait, which one? That one.
No. Bullet streaming past him as he kind of ducks and dives out of the way.
I am going to roll that again.
Okay. You roll that again.
Are you a soldier?
I'm a warrior. Dag.
Warrior.
So, yep, that's a miss.
More damage.
Once. In a row.
All right.
That's all right.
Make sure you're keeping track of how much ammo you're burning through as well.
Yep, I'm quite loaded up.
Well, you run 20
Magazines.
round clips, so you're a magazine. So,
Yeah, I've got 4 clips on me though. So
yeah, it's
But yes, I'm tracking it.
yes. Okay, it's like a simple action, basically like a move action to replace a clip, I think. Anyway, Bob is up.
All right, so he's going to basically stay in the cover of this this mech bay. I can't position him and still see, but
Right.
that's where he's at. I'm gonna shoot at the guy with the combat shotgun.
Okay. That will do. I need to.
The level 2 of Gunslinger says once per round you can reload a ranged weapon as an on-turn action
So-
if it takes no more than 1 turn to reload.
Yep, he
Yeah,
goes down.
Awesome.
Cancel. All right, so that there, he's dead. After Bob, Marina.
I guess something like that would be probably the most effective.
Okay. I was gonna say, move yourself to where you want to go.
And I probably can see something, but that's the end of my turn.
Okay. I guess you can see whatever you can see.
Yeah.
With the lighting.
I can see Arnstein and the 2 guys around him.
Right. Arnstein.
Can turn around and give the other guy some lead as well.
Okay. will hit.
20 to hit. 8.
Okay. He goes down, missing the right side of his chest, as your shotgun makes mincemeat out of it.
Again, just looking over my shoulder at the guy behind me now.
Yeah, because we'll move to basically here for cover. He should be
Alt for precision movements.
Yeah. He will take a shot at that guy with his assault rifle. Or he had an assault rifle, not a shotgun, right? No, he had a shotgun.
Yeah, it was a combat shotgun.
Okay.
Normal shotgun, I thought. Was
No, combat. It says shotgun, but that's a combat shotgun.
Right, okay.
12 will hit for 5 damage. He haven't rolled that yet. All right. Oopsie, that's the wrong guy. Just enough. He gets pellets to the chest and goes down. Come on. Click there. Done. All right. Their turn. Oh boy, we get to make some morale rolls at minus. Is it +1? Modifier. I think it's +1 at this point. Failure. He is going to start hightailing it out. Success for him. Success for him. And failure for him. This guy drops his guns and puts both hands up. This guy here turned tail and just is trying to flee, and these two guys are still active with guns. They still are active with guns, so they can shoot at people. Caleb, you look like a target.
I really got to take that bullseye off my chest.
16 to hit.
That'll hit.
6 damage. Second shot. Second person shooting at you. 12 to hit.
That will miss.
All right.
Right.
Caleb, so you catch a nice bruise somewhere from that whole, getting shot thing. You're up. Guy to your left just dropped his gun.
All right, I'll push him sort of as I'm moving, and I want to move. It's difficult to do on this map. I want to move to there. Can I still see this guy if I move to there?
I'll give him a basically armor bonus for cover for you, but yes.
All right. So I'll go there and take a shot at that guy.
Okay. That will hit. And dead. So you gun him down where he stands.
All right. Bob will take a shot at the last one standing. Forgot to record my ammo. Just a moment.
Okay, no worries. I don't think he can have a high enough HP, but I'll try. Yeah, no, he's dead. Kathunk, kathunk. Oopsie. This, that. All right. Morena, you're up. You see a guy with a chest wound start running out the door. He's got a big old wrench in his hand.
I guess I'll get I'll aim my pistol at him and fire at him.
Go for it.
Silenced one. 21 to hit for 8 damage.
Yeah, you put a shot through his forehead, and down he goes.
Okay, and then I start moving in.
Okay, we are out of initiative.
Oh, good job, guys.
Like
Yeah,
this
glad you
whole
could join the party.
this whole room smells of cordite and you just like there's still like ringing coming off of the walls a little bit. All right, so what you guys see here are
While we're just recovering, I'm gonna walk up to the guy that dropped his gun and basically pistol whip him. Just try to knock him out.
Give me a roll. Give me a punch roll. 2d6 plus punch, or attack roll works. It takes you a little bit of you like whang him once. He's like but, and then you whang him again, and down he goes.
That's all I'm after.
Okay. All right, so we can turn off dynamic lighting so you guys can just see everything.
So if we're done, I would probably be likely to ask, or maybe start up one mech and move out to pack up my sniper and put it back in its case.
Okay, yeah, you can head out. So what you guys hear in here, the Marauder and the Firestarter are in like running mode. You guys took out people fast enough they couldn't get loaded into mechs. Marauder and Firestarter are running. The Valk and the Wasp are shut down, and the Orion is in kind of a pre-warm-up state.
Arnstein's just gonna point at the Yakuza guy, point at the Wasp. Have at it.
He's like, I need help getting it reassigned. It's locked down, so I'm gonna need somebody to come in here and unlock it for me. Basically need somebody to help him get it to combat readiness.
Yep, I can fire it up for him.
Okay, give me a hacking roll, please.
Program plus int.
Program plus int, yep. This guy is, well, say you just shove him over here. You shove a lot of people in a lot of places.
11.
Yes.
Oh, can we carry the guys inside first?
Yes, you can carry the guys outside.
Caleb
Inside.
will work on that.
So there's a pile of bodies in here. There's a lot of blood everywhere. Yes, you are able to hack this guy into the Wasp, get him basically you do initial checks. You've got, you got that half-hour startup time. While you guys are in here, I need to draw shape. It's good enough. You find a elevator there. Looks like it's big enough to take one mech up and down.
That makes sense.
You think there's probably a hydraulic ram on the bottom side?
When I get down or get back with my pack top sniper on my back, and I see the computers here, right?
Yep.
Is there anything on the screens?
It is a bunch of diagnostic and like.
I'm searching for like a communication tool, like to somewhere else where we're chatting with someone or something.
There's nothing active on the screen.
Okay.
It looks like it's diagnostic stuff hooked up to the mech gantries.
I'll wave over Arnstein and say, maybe this is interesting for you.
While they're doing that, I'm going to walk out to the jammer and shut it off. We don't need it anymore.
Okay.
And send a signal to Ran, a prearranged signal saying that we were successful.
All right. She acknowledges and tells you she'll meet you at the bowls.
Then come in and Um, fire up the Marauder. See what the Marauder, because this is what, an Orion, a Marauder, a Firestarter, and a Valk, right?
So we have a Marauder, an Orion, Firestarter, Valkyrie, Wasp.
And the Yakuza guy's taking the Wasp, right?
The Yakuza guy is taking the Wasp. So hopping into the Marauder, it is fully armed but locked and running. So like initial checks, you see it's got AC5 ammo loaded. The weapons are hot. Basically the engine is on and running. If the assigned mech warrior climbed in through the hatch and hooked up his neuro helmet, he'd probably be running within under a minute. You guys took people out real fast.
That was the idea.
So you're gonna need an Arnstein assistance to actually get this thing attuned to you.
Yep, I'll give him a shout. Hey Arnstein, now that you're done jumping through doors, you want to unlock this thing?
Hold on. The Valk was dead cold, right?
The Valk and the Wasp are dead cold.
Once I get the Yakuza guy through the startup phase, I'm gonna go to the Valk and start the startup phase.
I'm assuming someone wants to drive the Valk.
No, really?
The Orion was in sort of just barely started warming up. Bob's going to go over there and start poking it.
Yeah, so the Orion was in kind of a the reactor's not cold, but it's not running state. Kind of in between. This is the so if you think of these 5 mechs as in ready state, you had 2 mechs that were in down for maintenance state. You had 2 mechs in like active scramble state, and 1 mech in long scramble state, if that makes sense. So we're talking a minute to get these 2 out the door, probably 10 minutes to get that one out the door, and by pure, if you did everything the right way, it'd be an hour for those 2.
So how many program int rolls do I need?
Well, 4 more. Don't get less than a bad number.
What is a bad number?
I will let you know if you get less than a bad number. Tell me which mech you're going for with each roll, please.
Valk is the first one.
Valk, okay. You push some buttons, and then you push some more buttons, and then you push some more buttons, and then you swear, and then you kick something, and the thing is still locked up.
Just mosey on over to Caleb and then try flipping some switches in his.
Okay, go for it.
while
You're
I'm
like,
waiting-
oh, this guy had an override. You push a button and the thing completely unlocks. Like you found the right button to push, and the thing completely unlocks. And Caleb, it's in a neutral state. You can spend a few minutes to tune your neuro helmet to it, and you're good.
All right.
While I'm waiting, I'll try and look at the bodies of the mech warriors guys and see if there's any like codes or like booklets with a code or something on them.
Intelligence plus notice, please.
Gonna go over and just do in the following sequence: Bob, then Marina, and then back to the Valk for another.
You find a code book for the Valk.
I toss it to Arnstein.
Hey!
He's helping me.
13's for Bob's mech.
So it was a little more complex than the Marauder, but you like, this guy's password was password, and you're like, he can't be that dumb. Type it in. Nope. Yep, he was that dumb. All right, so yeah, you're able to get Bob going. The Firestarter is another real. That one was actually locked down a little more competently, but you're like, oh yeah, no, I got the pattern now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. So you're able to get the Firestarter, and Marina, it's just a couple minutes for you to get your Neuro helmet aligned for that. And I'm not going to make you roll for any more on the Valk because you have the code book. So you didn't get the bad number.
Yay!
Boom?
Well, it's less boom and more.
You're never getting in.
Now I got to rip out the panel and get behind it.
Right. It's more, oh, I just fried the computer for this thing.
Oh.
Let me go find a new one.
Well, there's a whole head in Valkyrie stables.
Yes, there is actually.
At the front.
All right, so all 5 mechs within a half an hour are up and running. You guys can go ahead and walk the mech forward. You can take one at a time, going down into pitch black tunnels that go off into the distance. And we'll go ahead and leave it there for this week. So we'll be back again for this game in 2 weeks with adventures in Tunnelcraft, Battle Mech, pitch black, no lights. It's gonna be fun. I hope to see you all there. Next weekend will be Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you everybody for watching. It has been great having you here. Bye.